Alright guys, hear me out. I know what video will take us from zero to hero immediately on this channel. Albania! No, wait, don't click off the video. Albania in our timeline didn't really have a chance to really stop Italian ambitions into the Balkans. They kind of just gave in. From what I remember, there was really hardly any resistance, if any at all. So today we're going to try to prevent Italy from invading Albania. We are using the generic focus tree rework, and we are going to be focusing on keeping monarchism within Albania. I do want to keep King Zong into power, so we're going to do our best to keep him in power by going down the monarchist path, which will give us bonuses along the line. I think every ideology actually give bonuses, but, you know, monarchism is monarchism. I love monarchy. To follow our path of monarchy, we're going to do the collective ethos path and dismantle the constitution because, you know, who needs a stable, reliable constitution whenever the monarchy rolls into town? I would begin to rework our divisions down to a 14th Whip division as we have limited manpower, and I thought it may be a lot better for us to defend our coastline if we sacrifice manpower in divisions for more divisions to be deployed to protect our coastline from Italian invasions. And finally, with everything set in stone, it is now time to embrace absolute monarchy. I would begin to look to improve my relationships with the French, as I would love to trade for their weaponry because, yes, I love the Moss 36. I knew that if we wanted to take on the Italians head on, we are going to need a larger military, so we are going to begin reforming our army and having a more elite army. In October of 36, our first actual division would be produced! Yeah! I slowly began to realize in order to fund a larger army, we're going to need to focus on industry, so we're going to divert most of our focus for the rest of 36 and early 37 on producing a large industry. This is also the same time I would begin making Albania Patrick's Rock, because yes, fuck you, Yugoslavia. By July of 1937, the Second Sino-Japanese War would begin, and yes, I do have the animated events happening, because they're cool, which means you'll see this in a year. I would begin to shift my army into a defensive army, as being realistic here, we're not going to really be doing any offensive attacks, so holding the fort to the best we can would probably be the way to beat the Italians here. And by late 1937, we finally got construction effort 3 done, which means we now have 6 total extra factories to use for trades or building up our ports. And after taking 140 days, we finally now have a successful economy, meaning now we can focus back onto our political tree to gain those political bonuses. We would then follow up by For the King, which would give us really good division organization in defense. And then the Germans went Anschluss Austria, like I told you all it would happen, because yes, chat, I am a time traveler. I have seen the future. I know what's going to happen next. They're going to annex Czechia, and then they're going to turn Slovakia into a puppet state, then invade Poland with the Soviets, and then go after the lowlands and the Nordics, and
what the F? I know you're freaking out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Easy fix. Puzzle code in my head. Now it's on the walls. Everything is good.
With us finalizing our political tree, we can now form a faction that we are going to call the Albanian Balkan League, because yes, Albania will be in the center of this great defense. But shortly after this, the Italians would then send us an ultimatum, and I'm gonna be real, I'm not fully prepared for this, but prepared or not, we do have to go into this fighting. We will not go down with our weapons pointed down. We are going to go down swinging if we must go down. And my defensive plan was to leave certain spots open for the Italians to land. That way I can then try to capitulate those troops and kill them. However, I was not expecting my troops to be this bad, but I guess I should have, with it only being a 14th with some minor defensive bonus support equipment. Yeah, that was not really a good idea on my end, was it? We would get pushed back to the port of Durrës, into our capital of Tirana, and honestly, I'm quite surprised with how good our troops were doing here. I honestly thought with the falling of our river defense, we would get pushed back more, but no, they were doing quite well. But with the failed defenses in the south, I decided that the best shot that we have of actually trying to beat this would to boot up a earlier save on the cloud save, which for some reason would constantly cause my game to crash. Fix your fucking game, Paradox!